Bitcoin and its family of cryptocurrencies have made the headlines almost weekly since late last year when valuation hit nearly 20,000 US dollars. It recently took a hit when online e-commerce and social media giants decided to stop their ads on their sites. Now regulators are looking at how to put guidelines in place of the World Wide Web's digital gold rush. The sudden drop in Bitcoin's valuation last January sent shockwaves to new investors and traditional institutions. Some banks even banned the use of their credit cards from buying cryptocurrencies. Zach Chia, who we interviewed last time, was launching his cryptocurrency point-of-sale device in January when the crash happened.
So, in fact, the ban was actually a blessing for us, because the Xpos device is actually a pure blockchain payment solution. So our hardware is actually existent in tandem with the Visa.
This means they don't need to use the current credit card POS devices. Credit card holders can simply pay any merchant using Zach's POS device to directly buy cryptocurrency. They finished their initial coin offering, or ICO, in 90 minutes, raising over 35 million US dollars. An ICO raises money for a company by allowing people to invest through the purchase of their coins or tokens using a fiat currency or a few accepted cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum. ICOs are unregulated. In 2014, there were only 7 initial coin offerings, or ICOs. Last year saw over 900 ICOs, which raised almost 5 billion US dollars. But of the 900 plus, 46% have failed. ICOs are similar to IPOs or initial public offerings, but a main difference is that token holders do not own any equity in the company that they've invested in. So the company has no real obligation to the investor to deliver on their promises. This has led to a number of scam ICOs being launched. Those who plan to be in the industry for the long run would like to see regulations implemented. Dave Chapman, founder of one of the oldest cryptocurrency exchanges, is one of those.
We actually welcome regulation. It provides the rule book. It provides the rules in which we're allowed to operate in. And it definitely adds an enormous amount of legitimacy.
And while there's still none, his company does their own self-regulation.
We were one of the first exchanges in the world that implemented a KYC and an AML policy. And it's those sort of traditional regulated activities that we always try to put forward first.
He suggests anyone looking to buy or trade cryptocurrencies should do their own due diligence when choosing an exchange. Find out who runs the exchange, where it's based, how long they've been in operation for, and any reviews people have given it. Jihan Chu's company provides blockchain services and development, asset management and advisory services to companies wanting to ICO.
All of the ICOs and token sales that we as Kinetic deal with require KYC, AML, and identification checks. So we make sure that people who are political risk or people who should not be getting involved in these projects never make it through the pipeline. We always encourage our projects to have multiple legal advisors from a global standpoint to ensure that they are getting the best coverage and the best advice.
As part of the Hong Kong FinTech Association, he's helped publish a best practices for ICOs guidelines to help those considering token sales or ICOs.
To their credit, many of the regulators have looked at these types of innovations and try to inform themselves both by being in the community, by attending conferences, and by remaining in dialogue.
Zach's company followed those guidelines and also made sure those participating in the ICO were KYC or Know Your Customer approved. Regulators around the world, from Japan and Korea to the US and Europe, have been trying to create guidelines around digital currency, but just defining it is creating problems. The Financial Services Treasury Bureau, or FSTB, warns of the volatile nature of cryptocurrencies. Together with the Securities and Futures Exchange, they've put up posters warning potential investors of this.
We see them as more like virtual commodities. And when they come into virtual commodities, it comes with a very speculative nature in the sense the price could be very volatile. And that's why we keep reminding the public that they have to be very cautious about engaging into activities or transactions in cryptocurrencies. Right. At the moment, the cryptocurrencies in the market, they're not legal tender.
Last year, the SFC said any cryptocurrencies matching the definition of shares, debentures, or collective investment schemes would fall under the definition of a security, making the SFC the regulating body. The cryptocurrency market cap has boomed to over $400 billion to date. While that might sound like a lot, it's really just a twinkle in the eye of an $80 trillion global stocks market. Even the government sees the value of the blockchain technology of cryptocurrencies.
We would like to see the actual applications are going to be generating real economic values. And for example, trade finance, right? These type of business activities could adopt blockchain or distributed ledger to improve the services to the end customers enormously.
He says they're working closely with other regulators around the world, monitoring the fast-changing technology and how they might implement guidelines. To date, China has taken the strongest stance against cryptocurrencies, banning ICOs and trading. But they recently came out with a more positive statement.
Following the Chinese Congress, the PBOC chairman himself said that a national digital currency is inevitable. So that really shows the direction and the potential they see for sovereign cryptocurrencies.
Jihan points out that a digital currency would solve the government's capital outflow concerns, since it's easier to stop a digital packet of money than it is to stop cash.
Cryptocurrency is programmable currency, and the ability for a country, for a central bank to have complete visibility over its entire monetary supply, and not only visibility, controllability, to, at a push of a button, be able to do whatever they want with their currency, it's very powerful.
It seems the technology is moving too fast for regulators to keep up with it. Those who are currently involved in the industry hope for regulation that's as dynamic as the technology.
I think good regulation is regulation which includes the ability to learn, to adapt, and to iterate in the same way that the technology that they're trying to regulate also does.
Up next, we look at the links binding the Greater Bay Area together when Money Magazine returns.